Call of Duty Zombies has been around for over 12 years now, and in that time, we've been introduced to a load of different perks. But clearly, you can read the title and you can see that over the years, there has been a number of perks that have never seen the light of day. So in this video, we're going to be going over 5 cancelled perks from Call of Duty Zombies. Now, I want to ask you guys a very quick question. We know there's 3 perks still to come in Cold War Zombies, so if there could be any perk that you could invent to put into the game, what would it be? Let me know in the comment section below. And since we're anxiously awaiting for some new DLC for Cold War Zombies, I thought this would be a great video. So if you'd like to support it, then you can do so by hitting the thumbs up button below until it turns blue. If you see the subscribe button down below, you might as well click that too. Diving straight into things, our first cut perk is going to take us all the way back to 2009 with Call of Duty World at War. Perks weren't introduced in this game until the first DLC map, Verrückt, but the second and third DLC maps, Shinonuma and Dries, were going to shake things up a bit with a brand new perk called Ammomatic. Now, this perk is probably the most known cut perk out of any perks in Call of Duty Zombies history. This is due to the fact that the texture files for the actual machine exist within World at War, and people have known about this for over a decade. Now, this perk was cut for good reason, and the fact that it's the perk ability itself isn't really an ability. The very cheap price of 10,000 points, you could buy a max ammo from this machine. Now, to this day, it's still a mystery why Treyarch removed it from Shinonuma and Dries at the last second, because everything related to it still exists, including audio files linked to the machine.
Max ammo machine. Ah, genius.
An ammo machine! What a brilliant idea!
Ammo machine! What a wonderful idea!
Ah! This is a blessing from the Emperor!
Now, it's crazy looking at this and then comparing to the mechanics of Cold War Zombies, where this exists, but instead of it being a perk machine, it's just an ammo crate, and it works a lot more fairly than this would have worked. The idea back in the day that you could buy a max ammo on command sounds absolutely crazy, but now it's pretty much something we've gotten used to. However, the way that it works in Cold War is definitely a much better way of doing it, because the price scales depending on how powerful the weapon is, whilst this was a 10,000 point purchase no matter what. Something to think about as well, with the old point system, it was very easy to get a lot of points very quickly. I think the system in World at War just would not have worked very well. As well as the idea of getting ammo from a Perk-a-Cola just sounds really weird to me. Hey, it took over a decade for Treyarch to reinvent this perk, and we've got it as ammo crates in Cold War, and I think it works really well. Moving on to our next set of cut perks, and we're jumping into Black Ops 1, which had a ton of perks that never made it to the final game, the first being one called Candelier. Perk icon for this still exists within the PC version of Call of Duty Black Ops, and this is what it looks like, a green icon with some bullets next to it. Now, this would have been very similar to the way that Bandolier works from World at War multiplayer, where this perk would give you more starting ammo. So for an example, think of the ray gun where it has 40 of 160 when it's pack-a-punched. Well, with this, it'd have an additional clip also of 40 bullets, so you'd have 40 of 200. It's like Ammomatic, no one really knows why this perk was cut, but in all honesty, I don't really see much of a point to it. Having more ammo, especially in these older games, is definitely something you'd want to have, but it just seems like it's a very minor ability to take up one of your 4 perk slots. But we're only just getting started with cut perks in Black Ops 1 because we have a load to get through, and these were all going to be on the Zombies map Ascension, which was the first DLC map and the first Zombies map since Verrückt to actually add in new perks. The first one we're going to talk about is a perk called Pronate, which seems to be the preceder to PhD Flopper. We can only find out what its effects were going to be due to some cut quotes from the characters, where Edward Richtofen quotes that getting Pronate will enable him to go prone quicker than usual, and Tank Dempsey refers to it as his jumping juice.
Ah, yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, that's a little bit like beer. I think this was rotten.
With this, I can go down even quicker.
Now, with the name Pronate, you could probably put 2 and 2 together and say that its name is a tongue-in-cheek spin-off to the drink Powerade. So it would let you prone quicker than usual. Do you guys see a real point to it? Let me know down below in the comments below. On its own, probably not, but when combined with some other perks, could be pretty lethal. And this next one we're going to talk about is called Tough Brew. Now, Tough Brew is very similar to Pronate, and the only evidence of its existence is in the game files, where we hear Tank Dempsey refer to this perk as Tough Brew. brew. Richtofen also has a quote that states the drink would toughen him up, similar to PhD Flopper, and Nikolai implies the drink goes down like glue, which is similar to the way that he describes PhD Flopper.
Tough brew! That's what I'm talking about! This drink goes down like glue! A drink for a true warrior!
Oh yeah, maybe this will toughen me up.
Now, if we look at the icon for it, it actually looks like a stopping power icon from multiplayer. And remember, over the years of zombies, so many people have been requesting for stopping power to be added as a perk along with double tap. Interestingly as well, some other speculation about Tough Brew is it enhanced the player's resistance against explosives, which sounds very, very similar to the famous PhD Flopper. Now, there is a fourth perk that was going to be on Ascension, which also sounds incredibly familiar, and this is called DTP Boom, which would create the now known PhD nuke explosion when diving to prone. So essentially, Treyarch originally envisioned PhD Flopper to instead be part of several different perks that you had to buy to get the entire PhD Flopper experience. I'm very glad that they didn't go down this route and made all these perks into PhD Flopper, because some of these perks, their abilities sound cool, but definitely not something that you would prioritize over the standard crutch perks from the original Treyarch Zombies games.
DTP Boom! Yeah! This drink is pretty good, but it's so hard to swallow.
Ah, now this is satisfying. I go boom now.
Jumping through Black Ops 2 Zombies, it doesn't seem any perks were cut because we got a brand new perk pretty much every single map. And personally, I really enjoyed certain maps having their own unique perks on them. It kind of gave you a reason to go back and play them to enjoy that perk. But yeah, the next perk we're going to jump to is in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and even I didn't really know about its existence till recently, is that there is a cut perk in the files called Liquidity. And the only reason why we know of its existence is because it existed in the Black Ops 3 beta files on PC, but this perk clearly never saw the light of day, and there's not really much known about what this perk would do. There was a lot of speculation around the time that Zetsubo no Shima released, because this name Liquidity clearly relates to something involving liquid. Everything we saw and heard of the map up until its release obviously meant that there was going to be water mechanics. We'd be able to swim underwater for the first time in zombies, so clearly Liquidity and underwater zombies go hand in hand. So of any of the perks we've spoken about in this video, this definitely has the most mystery shrouded behind it. But I think one thing a lot of people would have appreciated with this perk's existence is that Widow's Wine was the only new perk we got in Black Ops 3 Zombies. After the consistency of getting a new perk after every single DLC map, we were sort of expecting the same thing to happen with BO3, and you know, not getting any new perk in Horizon Drac, we were like, okay, maybe Zetsubo will get one, but alas, nothing ever came to fruition. If I had to take any guesses whatsoever on what this perk would do, I assume it would allow you to stay underwater for a lot longer than you normally would be able to. There's not many sections of Zetsubo which would require you to absolutely need this perk, but I guess if you were going to do the rainbow water for the upgrade part, there are some times where you do struggle for air a little bit there where this perk could come in handy, but alas, I don't really see this being useful, because I think Treyarch's mentality is that if they add a new perk, especially when it came to Black Ops 3 development onwards, they want this perk to be useful in every map that the perk is in, and Liquidity would have been very good for Zetsubo, but obviously absolutely pointless for every other map. That's potentially one reason why this perk never saw the light of day. There's no secret that Black Ops 4 Zombies had a ton of perks over its lifetime. 8 brand new perks to be specific, so there's been a lot of new perk fatigue in the community recently, and Cold War is very slowly but surely bringing us those new perks with each DLC drop, and we've got 3 more to look forward to. So far, we've seen the return of Tombstone Soda after nearly a decade since its last appearance in Zombies, which combines it along with the effects of Who's Who. We're seeing a lot of older perks return in the form of other perks, so there's a good chance that some of the perks we've spoken about today could return to Cold War as part of tier upgrades for any future perks. Like I asked you at the start of the video, if there's any perk in the world that you'd love to see in Zombies or an old perk return in a new form, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy videos like this, let me know in the comments as well, as I'm planning on doing a whole series where we go over cut content in every single Black Ops Zombies game. Could even go as far as doing a cut content series on each specific map. map from each game. If you'd like to see that, just let me know and I'll get to work on it. Thank you so much for getting all the way through this video. If you're clearly hearing this, you've made it to the end of the video, so I appreciate that. I appreciate your support a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you for another video very, very soon.